What up, Shinigami Kai? Shinigami here, with sort of a black belt story time. So some of you might know I got COVID. I don't know where I got it. It could have been in Vegas when I went to that tournament. It could have been somewhere locally that week. I was someone in my jiu-jitsu class that looked a little off. That Monday night, the week I started coming down with symptoms. Um, there was my new doctor I went to go see to try to get a blood test so that my beef fight wouldn't get stopped if I got a little bloody on accident. You know, if he got lucky and hit me in the nose or something. Which I ended up having to call that off because of COVID. Well, at least at Street Beefs. If I get a negative test tomorrow, which will have been last week by the time you guys see this, I will have probably fought him locally at one of the local gyms. Since he did come out here from out of state, which he didn't say he was going to do. I thought he still lived out here. Granted, he did say he was going to sell his house in like May or something, but he never told me he actually did it, or that he moved that far away to like Arkansas or something. So, anyway, the last 2 weeks have been hell, and I probably shouldn't complain too much because I was lucky enough to be quarantined at home and not hospitalized and on a respirator like some of these more unfortunate victims of COVID are. Honestly, I have to thank Street Beefs for saving my life. I think that the weight I've lost because I've been training full time again to compete in Street Beefs and lose enough weight to go pro, which I'm very close to, like 10 pounds away right now. Helped with the severity of the symptoms. Now, I don't know if it's because I've always had a really, really sensitive palate, but I didn't completely lose my sense of taste or smell. It was a little off. I think it's getting a little back to normal because what I ate today, I ate something like that about 2 weeks ago, and it tasted almost the exact same thing I ate today. And it was really, really salty the last time I had it. And for a while there, everything that was salty was really salty, and everything that was sweet or like bitter really didn't taste right or didn't taste like anything. Like sweet stuff barely tasted sweet. Things of that nature, except for things with like really strong taste, like Gatorade still tasted like Gatorade. I could kind of smell stuff, but not like usual. The thing that really got me was the COVID related pneumonia. That was the worst part of it. Hurt to breathe, I was coughing stuff up, hurt to cough. Felt like I was kicking myself in the chest. That's how hard it hurt when I was coughing. With the isolation at home, killed me. It was really depressing, really stressed me out. Self-quarantine officially ended yesterday. Did go in for a COVID test today, which is kind of a stupid story in and of itself because I went to Rite Aid, which was across the street from the CVS I scheduled my appointment at. And I sat in line for over an hour in the drive-thru before I realized it was the wrong place. In the heat with no air conditioning. So there's that. But yeah, I mostly spent the last 2 weeks laying in my room being miserable, sleeping a lot. When I was awake, I'd occasionally eat. I kind of had to force myself to eat. I really wasn't that hungry. Half the time, the other half of the time I was hungry, but I was just so much more exhausted than hungry that I slept instead of eating, which probably had a lot to do with the weight loss that I experienced. I have gained about 4 pounds back in the last 2 days, so that's a good sign that I'm probably completely over it. Unfortunately, I was not able to afford to rebook everything and get to Street Beefs West Coast 10, which really sucks because the anniversary was important to me, which is it's the anniversary event. The first time I fought was at the first Street Beefs West Coast in August of last year, and I had huge plans for this one. I was actually going to try to fight twice in one day. Was going to try to fight Nasty Native after doing my beef fight, which I was absolutely sure I was going to murder this guy in the ring. Well, as close to it as I could get before the ref stopped it. You know, that's what the whole point of street beefs is, right? So nobody actually dies. You know, and then I was going to try to give Nasty Native a title shot at my title, even though he's fighting that same day for the boxing title, but didn't happen. Not going to get to be there. Not going to get to go to the after party. Not going to get to see any of the guys or a couple of people who hadn't seen me yet that really wanted to go and meet me. Some guy just posted today, win or lose, I just hope I get a picture with Shinigami, and I had to message him and tell him I can't make it. I guess he didn't see my post in the Facebook group about having COVID and not being able to go. But I'll be back at Street Beast West Coast 11, and I've been invited to come up to the scrap yard, so I'll be there in 2 weeks. Probably going to fight Nerd Rage or maybe Ponyboy. I wanted to fight the Destroyer. I wanted to fight the Destroyer because he's a big dude who can head kick. And I felt that was a better match for the fans. But I mean, if I'm going up there, they're flying me up there. I figure, you know, as usual, I'll fight whoever they put in front of me. I don't know how good Nerd Rage is, but he's probably the most experienced guy in Scrapyard for MMA, even though he's only done a boxing match there. He does have a couple amateur fights from about a decade and a half, not a half, but like 12 years ago, 2009. That Fire Chicken sent me to check out. So I kind of have an idea of how he fights when he does MMA. That being said, he is a higher experience level opponent than most of the guys. I think the only guys that are really that experienced are guys like Big Smile and Nasty Native. You know, so yeah, and it shouldn't be anything I can't handle though. Being as experienced as I am myself, with going on 14 years of karate practice and competition, and like almost 10 years, no, yeah, almost 10 years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu off and on in class and in people's garages and things of that nature. So, yeah, I have to encourage everybody to get the vaccine. I think one of the other reasons that I was fortunate enough to be stable and have a mild enough case that I got to stay home and bore myself to death watching every movie I could think of under the sun was because I got the first dose. And actually, if I get that negative result tomorrow, I got to schedule my second dose, like I said earlier, I believe. But yeah, COVID sucks. COVID will ruin your plans. COVID will make you have to cancel things. I have to go through a whole scenario to get a refund on the plane ticket I had got to go to the scrapyard for their anniversary event last weekend. And then the next day I got my COVID results back when it should have kicked in, but for some reason, even though I bought it Saturday night, the flight insurance or the travel insurance didn't kick in until Monday. So I'm probably going to have to go through an extra whole thing. Like I sent him the documents the guy on the phone asked me for, and I got an email like yesterday or this morning asking me to send a bunch of other stuff. So now I got to print something out and go to the hospital that I went to and have the physician print out or fill it out and sign it if I can even find out what doctor saw me, because I don't think it's on the paperwork that they gave me, just that I was there and that they told me to quarantine immediately. For that doesn't even say for the 10 days that they told me to quarantine, which was based on the, you know, when I told them I started having symptoms, and not necessarily the day I tested positive. So hot in here, even though I got the air conditioner and the fan on. It's just this side of the room. It's not really reaching over here for some reason. So I'm getting a little sweaty. But, you know, this is serious stuff. And I actually thought I was going to be hospitalized because that's how crappy I felt. You know, They put me on corticosteroids and some antibiotics, and they gave me a couple of injections of antibiotics and corticosteroids. The antibiotic shot was supposed to leave me sore for like 4 hours. My arm was sore for like 4 days. So, mask up, unless you know that everybody around you is tested negative for COVID, which is usually the case at street beefs events. A few people have had to drop out because they also tested positive for COVID. It's kind of been a thing every event. A few people end up testing positive right before and have to drop out. um, Someone else actually just posted today that they're waiting on their test results and they won't know until tomorrow. And they might have to drop out, which kind of sucks because that's going to be really hard to find a replacement for on such short notice. And I know a lot of the guys are already in Vegas. I was actually supposed to leave today originally. Myself, I would already be in Vegas right now instead of filming this. I'd be filming stuff in Vegas instead. Probably pound for pound, I'd probably interview Master Roshi, which was part of my content plan. I was going to do some content creation while I was out there for this channel. I was going to interview Tiny Tank and a twist. I was probably going to try to interview, Daniel from Heart in the Fight at the after party, not at the event. Guess they're going to rent a suite for the after party, which now it really sucks I can't go because that's going to be a banger. But yeah, I mean, just be careful out there, guys. COVID is serious, and I mean, I still have a little pressure in my chest. It's actually going away a lot more rapidly the last 24 hours when I exhale. I'm still coughing a little bit, but that's just because of the pressure. I'm hoping I don't have long-term respiratory damage. I'm guessing that the pneumonia wasn't that bad. I'm guessing it wasn't that serious since, again, I wasn't hospitalized and on a respirator, but I have heard stories of really long-term respiratory damage from this. And I'm hoping it doesn't affect my career in the future because cardio is important. So that's that. If I did do the beef fight around here, it'll probably actually be up before this video, so look for that on my channel. It's kind of new for me to film more than one video in one night, trying to get ahead of the game, especially because I'm going to my friend's wedding next weekend, and I'm going to the scrapyard the week after that. So it's going to be, I'm going to have to do all my filming and everything prior to all that. So that's what I'm kind of getting at here. And maybe tomorrow or Saturday I'll probably film something. Might not even be in that order. Matter of fact, what I'll probably end up filming this weekend is my review of the live pay-per-view event for the Street Beefs West Coast 10, which, will probably also be up before this. Who knows? Maybe I'll even film my live reaction to some of it. I don't know. I'm just trying to get ahead of the game right now. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Again, go get vaccinated. Make sure you wear a mask in public if you are vaccinated. Especially if you just finished getting vaccinated, because you can still shed. You never know who's got what variant too. There's all these new variants popping up. Just be careful and stay safe out there. Shout out to the usual people, Moose Inc., link in the description below. Cougar Jackson, link in the description below. I don't think he's put out content lately. I think he's been busy with other things. The Canadian, his channel's linked below. Make sure you go follow him. And just stay safe. I could have even got it from grabbing some water at Del Taco one time after class in the last couple of weeks. Sometimes I'll do that if I'm out of cold water after morning class. I'll go to Del Taco, buy something for $1 and get like 5 free cups of water and fill up my little jug. You know, maybe I got it from there. You know, try to avoid eating out as much as you can, because that's, I mean, the food service workers are at the most risk. They're actually even having higher fatality rates and infection rates than hospital staff, believe it or not. So try to avoid eating out. Try to, you know, make your own meals. I know it's real convenient to order Postmates or whatever, but even that's dangerous right now. That's why I stopped doing Postmates. Like I was thinking about doing it again in between jobs, and then the emergency situation hit and lockdowns happened, and yeah, a lot of people are making good money doing that right now, but the risk is not worth it, especially since they don't give you health insurance. Not worth it. You know, I know there's a lot of talk about people who are on unemployment are being lazy. No, people on unemployment are being smart. You know, if you can, just get on unemployment right now. It's just not safe. Get out of the restaurant industry if you can. It's not safe. It's a shitty industry anyway. I'm glad I'm out of it. I would rather live under a box, in a box under an overpass, than ever work in a restaurant again. It's that crappy of an industry. Unless they start paying $30 an hour with a fixed schedule. Don't expect you to work longer than you're already scheduled, like they tend to do now. You know, they cut the crap with the 12 to 16-hour shifts or 24-hour shifts, depending where you are. You know, that's why I would never work in Vegas. That 24-hour schedule, man, that's a nightmare in and of itself. That, you know, the statistics for cocaine and stimulant use there is crazy, and the overdose rate for chefs or line cooks there is nuts. It's higher than pretty much anywhere in the world due to the demanding hours. You know, 24 hours, 3-4 days in a row. You know, it's an unforgiving, uncaring industry that never really paid what it was worth unless you were a really big name. And even those guys, a lot of those big names don't pay their employees what they should. You know, I've never worked a place with benefits that wasn't corporate, and even the place that was wanted to take $75 out of my check every month to cover it. So it wasn't really an actual benefit. You know, just try to avoid being a delivery driver. Try to avoid the restaurant industry, period, and try not to eat out. Other than that, again, just stay safe and avoid getting COVID.
Shinigami, samurai master, straight up out the land of Lancaster. No one stronger, ain't no one faster. Turning the opponents into Caspers, ghosts, disasters. We don't do no waiting, where I'm from, we attack them. Swift KO kick to the chin, leave them napping. Sniff, take a whiff, that's the smell of victory. Better fear, making all my peers' careers history. Big dubs, all we catch is big dubs. Karate chops to his tops, leave them big slumped. Humble beast, beefing in the street. We don't take no loss, you gon' catch defeat, you gon' catch a fist.